Hello everyone. The question for today is, how should you decorate your classroom? And whenever I decorate my classroom, this is the advice I give to everybody. You should always have something personal about yourself. You should have something personal about the students. And you should sort of have something related to the subject matter. Okay? And so when I say when I say you should have something personal about yourself, always remember this is your classroom. All right, so make it like your home, because you're going to be spending a lot of time there. Okay, so you can have some pictures of your family, bring in your favorite coffee mug, make the room your room. Okay, it should be personalized to you. Okay, so you have to have some stuff, have some personal information about yourself that the students will want to know, something that they could kind of connect to you, that they can connect to you with. And then what you want to have is, this is really important too, you want to have something personal of the students. You want to have something that connects to the students. For example, if you teach in, a predominantly, a Hispanic neighborhood, maybe you have some, pictures of important cultural figures with Hispanic heritage. So, I think to the movie, the movie Do the Right Thing with Spike Lee, and the movie, it takes place I think in the 80s, and the owner of the pizzeria is Sal, and Sal owns a pizzeria, and it's his pizzeria. So in his pizzeria, he only has up pictures of Italian Americans because Sal's Italian, and one of his customers comes in, and his name is Buggin' Out, yeah. So he comes in and he starts complaining to Sal that all the pictures in the pizzeria are of Italian Americans. However, all the people that come to buy pizza are all African American. So the guy, so the kid goes to Sal. He's like, well, how come you don't have up any pictures of Malcolm X? You don't have up any pictures of Martin Luther King, of Michael Jordan. You only have Italians on your wall. And Sal kind of says, because this is my pizzeria, I don't have to, I'm going to have Italians that I want. And, to cut the story a little short here, it winds up with Sal's pizzeria getting burned down. And, I remember watching this in film school too. You have to ask yourself, maybe he could have, put some pictures up of, Malcolm X or Martin Luther King or something like that. It's a really good movie, and I understand where Sal's coming from too, but again, right, it's your classroom, just like Sal's pizzeria. It's really for everybody, right? Sal's the owner of the pizzeria, but everybody who comes into the pizzeria is, African American. So, it's sort of not really your classroom. It's really like, you have to look at it as like, this is our classroom. So you want to have some personal stuff of yourself, but you also want to have something that can connect with the students. Like I said, so if it's like a predominantly Hispanic neighborhood, have some, Hispanic cultural figures and things like that. Now, it's not just, that's just not all of it. If you're a science teacher, okay, you should, a principal or a parent or somebody should be able to walk into a classroom and they should know that this is a science room. All right, so if you walk into a science room, you should know that, hey, this is a science room. You should have like little models there. You should have science posters. Same thing with an English room. Okay, so you should kind of be able to identify the subject, as well. Excuse me. Other things about the classroom is, there's just, every classroom, you got to have those rules, and you got to have the rules up somewhere, right? Keep the rules short, 5 rules, make them short, positive sentences. Everybody knows that, but you have to have them there, and that sort of covers yourself too, because any complaints, you can point to the class rules, and of course always go over the rules as well. And the last thing that you want to have is kind of like, the last thing you want to have is something that can connect to the school spirit. So, or the theme of the school. So like one year, and I know the schools always go through different trends and they change and things like that. So like one year the school was, my school was all about growth mindset. So, that year, what did I do? I had all like little growth mindset posters up. So when the principal comes in or somebody comes in, they're all happy, and you sort of placate the administration, and you sort of, they'll be happy that you're buying into whatever the school theme is. you know, then the next year it's Google apps. You know what I mean? So I'll have some digital citizens posters up, because that goes more like, you know, that goes to the school theme. All right. This year I don't know what it's going to be this year, but whatever it is, I'll put something up, you know, to sort of keep the administrators happy. So, you know, let me just sum this up here before I wrap this up here. So you want to have some personal stuff here of yourself, make it your room, but you also want to have some stuff that you can connect to the students. Okay. You know, you know, as time goes on, you're going to find out more about your students and what they like and what they're about. So the more you know, the more you can sort of continually decorate your classroom. It's not just a one-day thing, decorating your classroom, like you do it the first day and then you forget about it. No, as time goes on, you add more stuff and add more stuff. And then you want to have, you know, you want to have your subject content out there. Okay. Have your rules, your regulations. Oh, don't forget, I forgot to mention this. You know, there's certain safety procedures and things like fire drills. Have all that stuff ready. You can get that out of the way. And then, like I said, you know, you want to take care of the school, but whatever your school goals are, have some poster up there that relates to your school goal. And probably the most important thing, if it's possible, if there's something that you know that you like as a teacher, and there's something that, you know, most of your students like, you know, use that to decorate your classroom. So, you know, like, for example, like I'm a Jets fan, and you know, I usually teach. For some reason, I usually teach a lot of boys in the classroom, and they're all, you know, they're all sports fans and things like that. So I'll put up like my Jets flag, and that's something to connect here, because when the Jets flags up here, I get the Giants fans talking, I got the Jets fans on my side, but it gets into, and we could all connect, you know, talking about football. I don't know if football is going to be around this year, so I might have to do something else. But, you know, those are just some examples. All right, so I hope this helps you out.